Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of y'all, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Look, some of you know exactly who Norah Vincent is. Norah Vincent disguised herself as a guy and named herself Ned. Dr. Tiasan Johnson and Ash Macadamian are the ones that posted something about her passing away, actually killing herself with somebody else's help. Norah was a feminist, and I mean foaming at the mouth feminist, pretty much believing that life was just so much easier for men. And instead of disguising herself as a man named Ned, for 2 years she had to do it for a year and a half. She had to stop about half a year early because she was beginning to hate women. Ned, meaning Norah in disguise, decided to approach women sometimes, see if she could get numbers, and found that it was easier as a woman to get women than it was as a man to get women. This is in the white community. I told you that they were crap. So you see, when Edward Allen Anderson tells sisters, go ahead and get you that Wyatt man, he says it with no ill intention. The reason I don't tell them to go and do it is because I can't tell them that without ill intention, because I know that it's dangerous for them. And we're seeing this. I know how it is that white men don't really value black women that much. For one, when they're thinking of women, they're not really thinking of black women. Secondly, if you bring their attention to black women, you had to bring their attention. And so therefore, that could be dangerous for her, because the minute she shows that same attitude that she shows to us shines, it's over, because he ain't gonna tolerate that from her. He may not tolerate it from his own women, but he will not tolerate it from her. He knows he doesn't have to. Even if he believes that there's no such thing as racism, he understands on a subconscious level, if not consciously, that when she gets out of pocket, socially speaking, he better not tolerate it. And legally speaking, he doesn't have to. LBRY tolerated it from that Wyatt, from her baby daddy. So I want y'all to keep these things in mind. This is how bad they are, but I also want y'all to notice that after all of this, and mind you, Norah disguised herself as Ned probably over a decade ago. And now Norah, at the time that you got to deal with the post-COVID economy, the post-Ukraine-Russian war economy, the shortages that are coming, the climate changes, and the deterioration of what's going on between men and women, largely an improvement for us men, because we're simply, at the same time that men are beginning to say, you know what, partially due to what Norah discovered as Ned, we're saying, you know what, we're not making approaches. And if we do, we'll approach someone of another race. For the Wyatt, that's the Asian. For us, it's the Asian and the Latina, if it's another race. Or we'll approach a sister that's just not Western, because we're still race loyal in that regard. For the Latino, it's the Asian. Maybe that white woman. For the Asian man, unfortunately, whether you're talking East Asian or Southeast Asian, East Asian or South Asian, you don't have a large Southeast Asian population in the States. But unfortunately for them, there is no one, because everyone looks down on them. All the women do, at least. sisters, well, who is there left for them? As we've seen, they'll shoot their shot at one of these Wyatts because, well, they have to. And now they're mad because they're going to have to shoot their shots at us Shines too if they want a shot at getting any of us. And what they're saying, or they've been actually saying, is they'd rather travel, pay their own money for the plane ticket, for the hotel, for the food, and for the wood, than to stay where they live and approach one of you Shines without having to pay all this. Now, what's the reason? Well, because they know that their reputations could be ruined for shooting their shot. And they know that because they know they are going to ruin your reputation if you shoot your shot and you don't happen to be the one they wanted to shoot his shot in the first place. That's how they roll. All of that of which they're afraid tells you what they know Mother Cuss Word well is awaiting you. But going back to their community, Norah, Vincent, got someone to help her commit suicide, according to the obituary. Norah Vincent showed a lot. And I think some of that was with the help of Oprah Winfrey. Somewhere down the line, Norah exposed a lot. And as a matter of fact, some of that knowledge is what fueled what we know as MGTOW. And then it's kicked up again. The knowledge and the awareness is kicked up again. It's not lost on me that about a year after Kevin Samuels becomes a household name and a few months after his passing, that she goes ahead and commits suicide with assistance. That's not lost on me. There's no coincidence in this. Norah had to be keeping up with these events. Maybe not specifically in the black community, but keeping up with them anyway. This is one of the first situations because Norah had to realize the depths of the deception. She must have known what Susan Vankner caused, what she called and caused. She must have known about how you've got Susan Vankner's confessions, and I think another woman's confessions too, about articles that they fabricated in some of these ladies' magazines. She must have known about how as women age, they just can't keep working anymore. It hits them before it hits men. And how what was traditionally available has now been ruined, largely due to this. I mean, my parents, they have to age in the United States without me. They don't move as fast. They're in good health, and I thank Allah for it. But see, my dad grew up, having grown up in the southwestern United States. There were still black people where he grew up, but he grew up in the southwest, and they were some frontier Negroes. And they broke your plate when you turned 18. The plate off which you normally ate at the age of 18, they would break it. 18 now, you could get out there and get it on your own. May not have done this to daughters, but they certainly did this to sons. And I was fortunate because, I mean, my pops paid for my education. But let's be honest. When I got to be an adult and the economy got bad, going to live there was not an option even if I paid. That was not a money-saving option. To pay them rent to stay there while under his rules would not have been a money-saving option as an adult, and he would have been willing to help with a lot of things, but that wasn't one of them, because that's not how he was raised. And I say this because what this led to, since that was actually very common and very standard for his age group and for mine, what this led to was a bunch of young folks who never were able to amass any sort of savings. And therefore, when economies just got worse and times got harder, they didn't have any emergency funds. Marriage was not going to be on the horizon for many of them, because why would you risk starting a family? Like, notice I have to say it. It's so bad. I have to sit up and ask why you would risk it. And the reason, well, pretty obvious to me. She had to have seen all of this, and this is what led to it. Expect more to come. I'm not happy about it. Don't be glad about it. Don't celebrate. I'm just telling you what's on the way, and I hope I'm wrong. Thanks for listening. Black heart, black mind, blackout. Assalamu alaikum. And as always, black heterosexual non-select male power because they don't like it. And black patriarchy till extinction or judgment day.